Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. My name is Mike, and we are here for the second half of our We Didn't Start the Fire themed trivia episode. Yes, if you have not listened to the first episode of this, go back last week, listen to that. It was a fantastic time. We got about halfway through the classic Billy Joel song, We Didn't Start the Fire, with some great themed trivia questions, and we're going to get into the second half right now. But first, we're going to meet the other people that are going to be playing tonight, as well as our esteemed host. I'll actually start off with the esteemed host, Natalie. How are you doing tonight, and what are you drinking?
Okay, I am doing very well, thank you. I apologize. I've got a cat on my lap, so if she gets
Never need to apologize for that.
Let me know, and I will put her out. No, I'm doing very well. I'm sticking with the good old water because I am in charge today, and so I need to keep my wits about me and make sure I don't do a weird addition with the maths for the scores or something like that. So no, I'm very happy to be here and very excited to finish off our We Didn't Start the Fire game with you guys.
Absolutely. We're excited to get back to it too. Next up, out of Garfield, New Jersey, we've got El Guapo back with us. Christian, same questions to you. How you doing? What you drinking?
I'm doing all right after the shellacking of the last game, but yeah, I'm here for another ass kicking. I'm going to stick with the Siesta Key Spice Rum because clearly that's working out for me. So let's pop that open once again.
Another good pop.
Tasty.
One of these days. Well, I'll be in Illinois in just a few months. So at that point in time, I'll definitely get my hands on something.
Ironically, it's not available in Illinois. So
actually, it is.
Oh,
is it? Okay. Because everybody keeps bringing Jay bottles, so I figured it wasn't available there.
She's got a brand. I mean, but actually, that's a good point. I wondered if maybe that was why she's always asking people to give me bottles of CST. But otherwise, why not? If you can get them. And last up, and yes, Bryan, I absolutely made you go last specifically for the mayonnaise ice cream thing that you posted earlier today because you. He has himself listed as Bryan Joel on this recording, but of course we have Bryan Nash here with us out of Muscatine, Iowa. Bryan, same questions to you.
Doing quite well. Okay, I did Siesta Key last episode, but I do have to work tomorrow morning, so I'm switching over to beer here. I'm going with one of my favorites. I've had it before on the podcast, but it is the Cherry Bomb Blonde from Front Street Brewery in Davenport, Iowa. Checks in it at a 5.4 ABV, but it is a wonderful cherry ale. It sounds something like this. And that will do nicely.
Lovely. Very much like Bryan, I also have to work tomorrow, and we're recording both of these episodes on the same night, just for a little backstage knowledge there. So I have, and as I mentioned last episode, I've also not, shockingly, I haven't gone on a beer run since the last episode either. So I don't have very much left in my fridge, but I do have a lovely Highlight IPA. Being a former resident of the Tampa area, I pick these up on occasion whenever I want to get that feeling again. This is one of my gateway IPAs, and long-term listeners of the show know IPAs kind of become my thing. The beer I had last time was a pint and 8.5% alcohol by volume. This is only 7.5% alcohol by volume and a 12 ouncer. So, and it's also, last time I had a stout, this time I'm having an IPA. So I am switching up a little bit, but I'm certainly going to enjoy this beer. As I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, this is the second half of our We Didn't Start the Fire themed trivia series. We're doing the second half of the song. So, if you go back to the first episode, you'll get a full rundown of the way that the game is going to go. But structurally speaking, it's fairly similar to our standard game. We're going to have another pregame, and then we'll have a hot seat, which is basically there are going to be 20 questions for each of us, and it'll go round robin, and that'll be the main round, and then there'll be a wager round at the end. The twist is on this one is that we are carrying over our scores from the first half of the episode. So I'm going to hand it off to Natalie to summarize those scores and get the game started.
Okay, thank you very much. So we had a really hard fought round in the first game, and the scores probably don't quite reflect how close it was, because it was very close at the end of the main round. But then some gutsy wagering did result in Guapo ending on a goose egg. So he's got a little bit of work to do, but plenty of questions and
Yep.
opportunities to catch back up. Mike ended on 31 points, and also with some gutsy wagering that went in the right direction for Bryan, he ended up in the lead on 36 points. So those points are sitting there in the fridge waiting for us to add them to the points that we get from this round number 2. So shall we get started?
Don't
Let's
worry,
do it.
I can screw this up.
Well, here's the thing: in the first game we went perfect on the pregame, so I'm kind of nervous about what the pregame's going to hold in the second game.
So the pregame is called "Did Billy Win the Grammy?" So I've got a list of Grammys that Guapo looks excited that Billy Joel has been nominated for over the years. And your job is to tell me whether he won or not. And this time we've got 10 questions and you're all going to answer for each one. So you've each got the opportunity to pick up to 10 points for this round. So I'll give you the nomination. We'll scoot through and you can tell me whether you think he did or didn't win that particular award, and we'll go from there. So the order probably doesn't matter too much because you're all answering all the questions. So we might just go in the order I have you on my screen, which is Mike, then Guapo, then Bryan. Okay. All right. So the first nomination is Song of the Year for We Didn't Start the Fire, the name of our game, in 1990. Did he win that or not win that, Mike?
Ooh, Song of the Year, 1989. I'm going to say he did not win that.
Okay, Guapo?
I'm going to go with he did, yes.
And Bryan?
I think he did.
Okay, 1 point for Mike. He did not win that. The winner of that one was Bette Midler for Wind Beneath My Wings.
Oh, boy.
Okay. I just realized too, I will rotate the order of answering.
We better rotate this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, next one. Song of the Year for Just the Way You Are in 1979. Did he or did he not win that Grammy? Guapo?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay, Bryan?
I'm going to say no.
And Mike?
I am going to say, okay, based on the Wind Beneath My Wings winning, I'm going to say that Just the Way You Are is more in the style of what the Grammys were liking to award. So I'm going to say yes.
Okay, and yes, he did. So points there for Mike and Guapo. Okay,
well,
Best Rock Vocal Performance Male for Glass Houses in 1981. Bryan, you're up.
Is that for the entire album or for the song?
I have written down Best Rock Vocal Performance Male for Glass Houses, 1981. Do you need me to? I would need to Google it to know exactly what that category meant back in 1981.
Okay. It can't be the song. I don't think the song was ever released as a single. So did Glass Houses win in 81? I have to say no.
Okay. Mike?
See, I think this is usually a song-based category. I don't know if it was at that time, but based on similar logic from Bryan, I'm also going to say no because I don't think that was. I don't think it would have made that big of a splash.
Okay, and Guapo?
I don't even know what this song is. I'm not familiar with this, not being a Billy Joel fan in the least, so I'm going to say no.
Okay, he did win that one.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe nothing else ecstatic happening in 1981. It was just before Thriller, so, not a lot to choose from until the next year.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Mike. Song of the Year for River of Dreams in 1994. Did he or did he not win that Grammy?
Um, I know the River Dreams album didn't do super well, but the River Dreams song was great. And I do feel like the Grammys like to do a lot of nostalgia awarding. I'm gonna say, using that logic, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, Guapo, what do you think?
I think this was like the last album he ever released, and he hasn't really written any music since then. So I'm gonna go with yes.
Okay, and Bryan, what do you think?
So, based on the first 3 questions, I've been completely wrong. So I'm thinking no, or I'm thinking that he didn't, which means I'm going to say that yes, he did.
Oh, should have gone with no, he didn't. I was so hoping you were going to go the other way as you started to say that. Oh, props have entered the recording. Mike is holding up the Billy Joel
he's holding
album
up his glass
as we speak.
The 12-inch LP. Nice.
I have the glass. I was like, I bet you I could slide right over here and find the Glass House's vinyl.
So just to finish out Song of the Year 1994, A Whole New World, Alan Menken and Tim Rice picked that award up instead.
Oh, yeah, that'll definitely do it.
Yeah, that tracks.
Okay, so Record of the Year 1979 for Just the Way You Are. Guapo, what do you think?
One for best song. Yeah, I'm gonna go with yes.
Okay, Bryan, what do you think? What do you think, and what are you going to answer? Because last time you were mixing all of that up.
Yep, I'm going to say yes.
Okay, and Mike?
Song of the Year, Record of the Year. I don't know how often. I don't know to what degree those overlap. Just to be contrarian, I'm going to say no.
Okay. Contrariness is not a good trait because the answer was yes. He did win Record of the Year.
Points!
Okay. All right. Album of the Year for 52nd Street in 1980. Bryan, you're up. Yes or no?
52nd Street is one of his best. Yes.
Okay. Mike?
I think I'm also going to go with yes.
Okay. And Guapo?
There's been a lot of no's so far, so yeah, sure, I'll go with yes.
Clean sweep. He did win that one. And you all got the point. Very good. Okay, back to We Didn't Start the Fire. Record of the Year in 1990. Did he or did he not take home that Grammy? Mike, you're up.
Let's see. We didn't get Song of the Year, so we've got a similar thing. The Song of the Year, Record of the Year overlap. You know what? I'm gonna throw a dart. Why not? We're gonna say yes on this one.
Okay. Guapo.
Now, Record of the Year is the one for like the lyrics, I think, right? I'll go with yes, sure.
Okay, and Bryan.
I have a hard time believing that if you're asking about record and song, if they were both yes, I feel like you wouldn't have added both of them for the same. So I'm gonna say yes on this one.
Sorry guys. Bet again, Wind Beneath My Wings.
Again, Wind Beneath the Wings.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn you, Bette Midler.
So was I right about record versus album?
I think Record of the Year is, the songwriting. I asked my daughter this. She's very much into the music industry, and every year I say to her, now, what's Song of the Year? What's Record? And she's like, Mom, I've told you. I'm like, I know, you have to tell me again because it doesn't make enough sense. Okay. All right. So, Guapo, you're up first for this one. It is Best Pop Vocal Performance Male for Uptown Girl in 1984.
I gotta imagine that's a yes.
Okay, Bryan?
84, there was a lot of really good music. I'm going to say no.
Okay, and Mike?
Bryan's logic is good, but my gut said yes, and I'm going to stick with my gut.
Oh, Bryan's logic was good. Does anyone want to weigh in on who might have beaten him out for that one?
Was it Michael?
It
Was
was
that
Michael.
Prince?
I was going to say the host
No,
is
yeah.
looking
Oh.
happy. Yeah, Thriller took that one. Okay,
Right,
Bryan, you are up first for Best Pop Vocal Performance Male for 52nd Street in 1980.
I will say yes on this one.
Okay, Mike
I'm also going to say yes.
and Guapo.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, some points, some not. He did win that one.
Okay.
So points for Mike and Bryan on that one. And our last one, back to We Didn't Start the Fire, Best Pop Vocal Performance Male in 1990. Mike, you're up.
Well, at least Wind Beneath My Wings can't win this one instead. But I'm still... Yeah, I think I'm still going to say no on this one.
Okay. And Guapo?
Well, I've gotten burned every other time I said yes, so let's stick with it. Yes.
Okay. And Bryan?
Pop vocal male, I'm going to say yes.
Okay, points for Mike in that one.
It
He
didn't
was
win
beaten
anything.
out by Michael Bolton. How am I supposed to live
God.
without you?
Oh,
That no
God.
talent ass clown, really?
I actually owned that album.
No, I love no disrespect to Michael Bolton. Obviously, that's just an Office Space reference.
Oh, yeah.
His
Yeah,
work with the
that'd be
Lonely Island has been
great.
top tier.
Okay, so we had some separation in the pregame this time, unlike last time. So Guapo came away with 3 correct answers, Bryan with 4, and Mike with 5. So those will carry over to be a part of our points in the wager round. But we are ready now to get back into our main game, picking up where we left off in the middle of We Didn't Start the Fire. Guapo, given you are bringing up the rear of the pregame, you get to choose. Would you like to go first, second, or third in the main game?
Yeah, I kind of liked Mike's questions better on the last one, so let's take this number 2 spot. See if
Okay.
that keeps up.
And Bryan, would you like to go first or third?
Third, actually, I knew more of Mike and Guapo's questions on the first round than I knew my own. So I'm going to go first this time.
Okay. And so, Mike, that leaves you in spot number 3.
The thought of Bryan doing better than he did in the first game is terrifying. So,
all right. So here we go. Bridge on the River Kwai, not Bridge on the Quiver Rye, which was what was trying to come out of my mouth, is our first category. The action in the movie Bridge on the River Kwai involves prisoners of war building a bridge on the River Kwai between 2 Asian countries. Which 2 countries are they?
I have to confess, I've not seen the movie.
oh, so good.
I know it's on my list of you need to watch this damn movie. Alec Guinness won an Oscar for it. Let's go with no. Wait. This was before Vietnam. I was about to say something dumb. Let's go with Thailand and Myanmar.
Oh, nicely pulled. That
Wow.
is correct.
Well done.
Get out!
Well done.
Oh my God!
There's no way I would have pulled that.
That was I hurt my shoulder reaching for that. That was a absolute wild ass guess.
No chance we can't give him the points because it wasn't Myanmar yet.
I have got Burma in brackets.
I'm just messing with you. Yeah.
Okay, Guapo, Lebanon. The Lebanese flag features a large tree in the center. What type of tree is it?
That would be a cedar tree.
That is correct. And Mike, Charles de Gaulle. The Charles de Gaulle Airport services which major city?
I love that my first one was an easy one. Paris, France.
Very good. I did think that when everyone's like, oh, we want to be in Mike's spot.
That's okay. I'm sure the other ones are coming.
All right, back to Bryan. California baseball. There are 5 MLB teams currently based in California. Name them all. City and nickname required, please. Now, if you were Australian, I would have only asked you to name 3, but you're American, so name them all.
You got this, Bryan.
Okay, well, I'm going to start. Okay, hang on here. Okay, LA Dodgers, San Diego Padres, San Francisco Giants. Okay, I think technically the A's don't have a team, don't have a city right now. Like, legitimately, they don't have a city right now. They're between cities.
So, as
and
I'm going to let you finish before I weigh in on that.
That was 4. And who am I missing? Oh, the Angels, right? Padres. Shit.
Yep.
Dodgers, Angels, Padres. It is the Anaheim Angels.
Oh, I've got the LA Angels, but
it's not the Anaheim Angels anymore. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Okay, so I'm going to defer. I'm going to defer to my panel of American sport aficionados because as the question was unfolding, something in my brain went, "Oh crap, are the A's still in Oakland or not?" And I was starting to Google that as you were saying it, Bryan. And then
I was wondering
LA
the same thing myself.
Anaheim. What do we think? I feel ill-equipped to adjudicate on this question.
The A's and the Angels are 2 separate things. So
yeah.
The Angels. So no point.
Oh, okay. So you're comfortable with that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, this is what happens when an Australian girl tries to dabble in baseball.
I know.
Never goes well.
It's currently a really weird thing that the A's, the Athletics, are currently cityless.
Homeless, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they were in Vegas for a while, weren't they? Because that was what happened in my head. I was like, oh, have they gone to Vegas or no, am I making that up?
No.
That's the Raiders.
The Raiders,
That's football.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. We need to move on. The opinion of people out there of my IQ is dropping dramatically. So let's move on to something else. Okay, Guapo.
You're good.
Starkweather homicide. Starkweather homicide refers to the killing spree carried out by Charles Starkweather. This occurred primarily in which US state, also known as the Cornhusker State?
Okay, I'm glad you added the last part because I was lost. That would be Nebraska.
That is Nebraska.
Yeah, I knew it was somewhere in the Midwest. I would never have gotten there though.
Okay, Mike, children of thalidomide. Thalidomide is a medication that has many uses but became problematic when used by pregnant women to treat what pregnancy side effect?
I believe it was morning sickness.
It was morning sickness. Well done. Again, not all of the categories are cheerful ones. Okay, yes. Bryan, Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly's band was originally known as the Two Tones, but later became known by which insect-inspired name?
The Crickets.
The Crickets. Well done. Guapo, Ben-Hur. The epic film Ben-Hur set the record for most Oscars won by a film. 2 other films have since matched the record, but none have broken it. How many Oscars did each of these films win?
I think it's 11 would be my guess.
Yep, that's correct.
Nice job.
Anyone want to shout out the other 2 films?
Titanic and Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, I think, right?
Yeah, they're the ones. Okay, Mike, Space Monkey. Space Monkey refers to the first 2 monkeys to survive being sent to space, which inspired me to ask the question, what does the acronym PETA stand for? Tangential.
That's wonderful though, because I was afraid you were going to ask me like what were the monkeys' names or anything like that. I believe it is People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
That is correct, but Bryan's got his hand up now. I'm scared.
People eating tasty. No, I mean the monkeys were Miss Baker and Abel.
Wow!
Oh wow! Okay. Nice.
Okay. Bryan, Mafia. The Godfather is one of the most famous mafia movies. It is based on a book by which author?
Mario Puzo.
That is correct. One of my favorite things I read was about Mario Puzo. Apparently, he wrote the novel, and then they came to him and said, "We really want to make a movie. Can you write the screenplay?" So he wrote the screenplay. And then at some point down the track, he's like, people, I guess, were asking him to do more. He's like, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing. So he enrolled in a screenwriting class, and the example they were using to teach it was The Godfather. And it's like, oh.
I love it.
Yes.
So good. Talk about humble and modest.
Right.
Okay. Guapo, hula hoops. The history of the hula hoop actually dates back thousands of years, but the modern iteration was inspired when the Guano toy company founders discovered that kids in what wonderful country were twirling bamboo hoops around their waists in gym class.
I'm going to guess the Philippines.
Oh, you missed my little clue there. That's 2 strikes. You didn't call out Australia in the last round, and you missed my clue of the wonderful country in this round.
Uh-oh.
It was Australia.
Read the room, man.
Missing context is what I do best. So
I love it. No, that's great.
Mike, Castro. Fidel Castro was succeeded by his brother. What is his brother's first name?
Raul.
That is correct. Bryan, Edsel is a no-go. The Edsel car was an unsuccessful car model from which car company?
The Ford Motor Company.
Correct. We're going great guns today. Okay, Guapo, U2. So in the song, U2 refers to some spy plane or something, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to give the band a shout out. So the question is, what was U2's biggest selling album released in 1987?
Was this Joshua Tree?
It was. Okay. And Mike, Syngman Rhee. After a contentious election, Syngman Rhee resigned from his role as leader of which Asian country?
I don't know, clearly. I'm going to say the Philippines.
Oh, Philippines strikes again. No, it was South Korea.
It was. It's funny because South Korea popped in my head, and I don't know why I didn't think it was, but okay.
Okay, so I just want to give a little score update. After the first 5 questions, we are all tied on 4 points apiece.
Ooh, okay.
Awesome. Okay. Bryan, payola. Payola refers to the illegal payment for favors in which industry?
Radio.
Radio is correct. Guapo, Kennedy. Who did John F. Kennedy beat to win the 1960 US presidential election to become the 35th president of the USA?
That would be Richard Nixon.
It sure was. And Mike, Chubby Checker. Chubby Checker is known for popularizing which dance move?
I'm a little sad I didn't get the psycho question. I'm just going to throw that out there. The Chubby Checker was the twist.
The twist. Very good. Okay, so you have preempted the next category, which is psycho.
Sorry.
And the question is going to Bryan. And sorry, Chris, but you knew I had to ask this one. Who directed Psycho?
That would be... No, it's not. It's Alfred Hitchcock.
Correct.
Oh, God. So over 6 years ago, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
Okay, Guapo. Belgians in the Congo. What significant event involving both Belgium and the Congo occurred in 1960 and prompted this line in the song?
I would assume that's the Congo gaining their independence from Belgium.
Sorry, I nearly answered. Is that your answer?
Yes, that's my answer.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, Belgium have had colonial rule since 1908.
All right.
Okay, and Mike, Hemingway. Hemingway won only one Pulitzer Prize throughout his career. Which book got him the honor in 1953?
I was like 90% sure, and then you gave me the year, which solidified it. It would be The Old Man and the Sea.
That's correct. I loved a bit of flavor text on this one. Apparently, For Whom the Bell Tolls almost won in 1941 after the panel couldn't decide between two other books, and then they just decided it was all too hard and they just cancelled it that year.
That's great.
What the hell?
Interestingly enough, that's two of the three Hemingway books that I've ever read are those two, and The Sun Also Rises is the third one.
Okay.
Which that
All right.
one has stuck with me. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Really good. Really good.
All right, back to Bryan. Eichmann. Adolf Eichmann was a member of the Nazi Party and integral in the Holocaust atrocities. He escaped to Argentina after the war, but was tracked down, tried, and sentenced to death. In which Israeli city did his trial take place?
Jerusalem?
Jerusalem, hesitantly, is correct.
Hesitant or not, a correct answer is the correct answer.
I don't know that I could name another one.
Guapo, Stranger in a Strange Land. Stranger in a Strange Land is the title of what type of work completed by Robert A. Heinlein?
I think it's called an epistolary work. It's written in letters. Is that right?
Oh, that's very specific. Go a bit more general for me.
Diary form? I don't know. I've never read this book.
There's the answer. I just
Okay.
needed that it was a novel.
Oh.
You were so specific, and I'm like, I don't know what
okay.
you're talking about. So, but as soon as you said I've never read this book, I was like, that's what I was after.
That's. I thought she was looking for science fiction too. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
We're keeping it real. We're keeping it easy.
No, you're good. another good book. Very interesting. It was of its time, but it's a very interesting book.
Valentine Smith. Mike,
getting
I
young.
grok you.
Exactly. That's where grok comes from. Anyway.
Okay, Mike, you are up. Dylan. It was in 1961 that Bob Dylan signed his first recording deal. Which label signed him?
Well, first of all, I'm going to do this because I did finish my my High and I'm down to my last beer in my fridge, which is a Breakaway Blonde from Sam Adams Brewing Company. And now I'm going to lament that I literally watched the film A Complete Unknown within the last week. And I'm still not sure I know the answer to this question. I am very bad with record labels. I don't know why. It's just like record labels don't stick with me. So I'm sitting here trying to remember. And I really do not know. I'm gonna say Capitol, but it's not right.
No, it's not. It's Columbia.
Columbia.
Okay, Bryan. Berlin. Berlin refers to the Berlin Wall being built. What year was it torn down?
Torn down was okay. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Okay. Soviet Union fell in 89. The wall came down, I believe, in 91.
So I've got 89.
Damn
and
it!
I
Flipped them.
feel like I did do a lot of checking and rechecking because that's one that I trip over a lot, thinking exactly how did it all unfold. So, yeah, 89.
Dad's got
coincidentally
a
when
tiny
the
piece of the wall of the Berlin Wall on his shelf at home. My dad.
Nice.
Oh wow,
That's awesome.
My aunt was there.
That's amazing. Okay, Guapo, Bay of Pigs invasion. 2 US presidents were involved in the planning and execution of the Bay of Pigs invasion. Who were they?
That would be Eisenhower and Kennedy.
That's correct. Eisenhower comes home for you well again. I think it was you that got Eisenhower in the first round. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mike. Lawrence of Arabia. Which actor starred as Lawrence of Arabia in the film Lawrence of Arabia?
So I missed Psycho by one, and I missed Beatlemania by one. That just makes me very sad. But it doesn't make me sad because Lawrence of Arabia is, we alluded to our respective journey down watching the David Lean epics, and this is absolutely Peter O'Toole that played Lawrence of Arabia.
It sure is. Well done. So yes, British Beatlemania for you, Brian. What was the original name of the Beatles before they became the Beatles?
Yeah, Mike's all over this, and I should know this. Before they were the Beatles, I don't have it. The Skid Marks.
It would be the Quarrymen.
Quarrymen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they were actually briefly the Silver Beatles before they were just the Beatles.
I did actually read that recently and had it just tucked away in my head. If someone, I didn't write it on my list, but I thought if someone answers that, then I know to say, yep, that is also acceptable. Okay, Ole Miss for you, Guapo. This is a reference to a student named James Meredith who was denied access to a particular university on the basis of race. Which university was it?
It's not Ole Miss. University of Mississippi.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
was that too?
We all know Ole Miss as Mississippi.
That's okay.
Right,
that's okay.
That was too much of a link. See, again, Australia strikes again. I pick up a lot of stuff from listening to all the trivia, but not everything. Okay, Mike. John Glenn. There are lots of firsts in the history of space exploration. What was John Glenn the first American to do?
Well, I missed the Psycho question. I missed the Beatlemania question off by one, but I'm very happy that I got the John Glenn question because I had the pleasure of meeting John Glenn about 20 years ago. Great American, and he was the first person to orbit the Earth.
That is correct. That's a very cool meet. Very good. All right, really Brian. Liston beats Patterson. What boxing weight class or division did Sonny Liston compete in?
Oh, I'm going to assume that they were heavyweights.
They were heavyweights.
Oh, good.
I was like, I would have done the same, Brian. Yeah.
Guapo, Pope Paul. Pope Paul was not the first of his name. What number was this Pope Paul elected in 1963?
All right, this is the taketh away part of this. I'm going to go with Pope Paul VI.
Oh, on the nose. Well done.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Nice wag, buddy.
I guess I learned that through osmosis from my 19 years of Catholic education.
That'll do it.
Mike, Malcolm X. Sadly, Malcolm X gets a mention due to his assassination. In which US city did this take place?
Ouch. It is actually a travesty how very little I know about Malcolm X. And I don't know the answer to this question either. I really don't know. I'm gonna say Chicago, but I don't know.
No, it was actually New York.
Okay.
Okay, Brian. British politician Sex. Who was the lead singer of British band the Sex Pistols, famous for songs such as God Save the Queen and Anarchy in the UK? And I'm just remembering I wanted to change this question because I also realised that he is potentially famous for killing his girlfriend or wife. And so I didn't want to shout him out, but I forgot to come back and do that. So now I'm just going to criticise him as I'm shouting him out. That's a long question. Up to you, Brian.
Was this Sid Vicious?
It is.
Okay.
He was the lead singer?
Okay. The less
I didn't.
better.
I thought for some reason.
Yeah,
I thought
that was
Johnny
Johnny
Rotten
Rotten.
was the lead singer.
Oh.
I thought Sid Vicious was the guitarist, but I could be wrong.
And he couldn't even play the guitar. So.
Right, well, yeah. In very punk fashion, they could not actually play their instruments.
Okay, well, given I added that extra flavor text, which maybe was useful now in hindsight, are we happy that we give that point to Brian?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He gets the point for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Screw said vicious.
Yeah, definitely. And my apologies. We're at question 94 of 120, so maybe
absolutely.
my eyes were getting a bit wobbly as I was writing them down here. So strap in. Who knows what's coming next?
Yep.
Okay, Guapo. I don't love this line, but JFK, blown away. What else do I have to say? The question is, who is the author of the time travel novel 11/22/63 about the assassination of JFK?
That would be Stephen King. It's somewhere on my bookshelf over here somewhere.
That is correct. And Mike, birth control. The court case Griswold versus the state of Connecticut saw the US Supreme Court rule that a particular group of people were constitutionally allowed to use birth control. Which group of people was this?
Christmas vacationers. Sorry.
You know, it's first of all, when you said Griswold, I was like, please let me. I'm locked in with Connecticut. I know it's Connecticut. Women?
No, married people.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay. I
Yeah.
I knew of the case, but I didn't know it was specific to married people. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't resist that question when I read that. I
Yeah.
was like,
No, that's interesting. I knew Griswold was
amazing.
related to birth control. I didn't know that was the capacity. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Griswold v. Connecticut, for giving me.
Bryan, Ho Chi Minh. What was the former name of Ho Chi Minh City, which was renamed for the Prime Minister of Vietnam after being captured by the North Vietnamese in 1975?
I'm going to say Quai Son.
Oh, no, Saigon.
Damn it! That was the coin flip.
That was the coin flip. Oh.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Guapo,
And we
Richard.
will all go down together. Sorry, it's Billy Joel themed episode.
It is.
Had to do
I
it.
love the song.
I know.
Good night.
Guapo, Richard Nixon back again. It turns out Nixon has inspired many songs over the years. One of the most well-known is You Haven't Done Nothing, written in 1974. Which megastar, probably better known for other songs of his, wrote and performed this song?
I really don't know. I'm going to go with Willie Nelson. I don't know.
Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
That's that one.
Okay.
Mike, Moonshot. Classic trivia question here. Who was the third astronaut on Apollo 11 alongside Armstrong and Aldrin?
I actually, not to draw back to the other thing I said with John Glenn, but I actually have Mike Collins' autograph somewhere. My mom has it. But my dad actually met him and got his autograph for me when I was a younger child, and it's somewhere. But anyway, Michael Collins is the answer.
Wow. Very good. Excellent. Okay. Bryan, Woodstock. Woodstock took place on a dairy farm in Bethel, New York. Why was it called Woodstock?
I'm going to guess that was the name of the farm.
Oh, that would make sense, but that is incorrect. Mike's
Can
got
I-
his hand up.
can
I
I
love
make a
how
guess?
polite you all are. Sure.
I just wanted to make a guess. Is it the name of the county?
Closer. It was
Okay.
actually a town. So the farm was located
Okay.
40 miles from the town of Woodstock.
Okay.
And the link being, because it's like, well, why didn't they just call it Bethel if the farm was in Bethel? But
Right.
the link being that there was a community of musicians and artists that lived at Woodstock, including
Gotcha.
Bob Dylan. So
Okay.
Woodstock had that kind of cachet, I guess, to make it as the festival name.
You know, by the time they got there, they were 500,000 strong.
You should have asked when you were there, Bryan.
I love you too. Woodstock took place in 1969. I don't know what month it was taken place.
I was like, I think it was. I think it was like
I was
August.
born. Yeah, I don't think I was born yet.
So I was
Just barely.
not to derail this too much, but I was actually telling the story at work not that long ago. My mom barely missed she was supposed to go to the original Woodstock and missed because of random circumstances and didn't get to go. And I was supposed to go to Woodstock 99 and didn't get to go because of random circumstances. So
Oh, wow. That was
Anyway.
probably good that you didn't get to
In the case of
99,
99,
yeah.
Given that one of my friends still has a burn scar from the fires, yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, again, not to derail too much, but while we're on the topic of music festivals, my family and I just went to Coachella last week. We had our first Coachella experience.
Oh, that's awesome. That's why you were here? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very
it was,
cool.
It was really fun. It was interesting, but some amazing performances, some fantastic people watching. And
oh yeah.
It was lots
At
of fun.
Coachella, you're going to see some interesting people.
We absolutely did. I was so I'm pretty tame and boring at the best of times, but man, I was so vanilla at that place. But it was great fun. Okay, back to the game. We are up to Guapo with your question, the category being Watergate. Watergate was the beginning of scandals being referred to by the world with the suffix gate. Example, we've had Banana Gate, we've had Camilla Gate. What gate was politician Chris Christie involved in 2013?
This is perfect. That would be Bridgegate.
That was Bridgegate.
The
New Jersey guy.
That's a bridge I literally drive over twice a day, every day.
That's awesome. I love it. I love the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Mike, punk rock. The songs Rock the Casbah and Should I Stay or Should I Go are songs by which British punk rock band?
Raise a toast to St. Joe Strummer, The Clash.
Clash. As Chris said, I'd already written down your point. Bryan, so Menahem Begin served as Prime Minister of which country from 1977 to 1983? And my apologies if those phonetics didn't do well with my pronunciation.
I think it's Menachem.
Okay, we'll go with that.
I think it's actually Begin, not Begin.
Yeah,
We'll go with that as well.
Based on the Billy Joel song,
my accent. It's just my accent. That's all.
It's Begin Reagan. Okay.
Okay.
He was the prime minister. You're asking what country he was the prime minister of, right?
Yes, 77 to 83.
Was that Palestine?
Oh, it was Israel.
Israel. Damn it.
Okay. So Reagan, for Guapo, everyone knows Reagan was an actor before he was president. But what was his watery yet heroic first job as a young man?
I'm going to guess from the clue he was a firefighter.
Oh, I can see how you made that connection, but he was a lifeguard.
Oh, okay.
And Mike, Palestine. This was a tough one to write a question for at the current time, but who was the chairman of the PLO from 1969 to 2004 and first president of the Palestinian Authority from 1996 to 2004?
Is that Arafat?
Begin.
That is Arafat.
It wasn't Begin. That's true.
No, that's right. Okay. And next one for Bryan, terror on the airline. Speaking of tough subjects, let's just go with an airline question here. What is the primary airline in Australia which began operations in 1920? I wish this question had actually gone to Guapo so he could redeem himself, but Bryan, it's all yours.
Is this Qantas?
It
Qantas.
is Qantas.
Definitely Qantas.
Well done.
Definitely Qantas.
Definitely Qantas.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
I thought so, but I'm like, I started to second guess myself. I got scared.
Natalie, I'm sorry, but it is awful. That is absolutely the reason that I know what Qantas is because of Rain Man.
Because of Rain Man. That's all good.
I'm so
I almost
sorry.
put a Rain Man
I know.
quote in, clue in, and then I thought, no, didn't make the cut.
Hey, the future of rock and roll.
Guapo, Ayatollahs in Iran. The Ayatollah referred to here led a revolution in 1979 and ruled Iran for the next 10 years. Who was he?
Okay. I think it's Khomeini.
It is Khomeini. Well done.
I know that whoever followed him had a very similar name, so
It was Khomeini and then Khamenei, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
Okay, Mike, Russians in Afghanistan. Russia invaded Afghanistan in 1979. In what year did they leave? And there are two consecutive acceptable answers because they didn't just get out in one day. It took a little while.
Sure.
So you can give me either year.
All right. Is it weird that I'm going on this based on when did Rambo 3 come out? No, yeah, I mean it was I have like 87, 88 in my head, so that's what I'm going to go with.
Well, you just have to give me one.
Okay, I'm going to give you 88.
Good choice. It was 88, 89.
88. I was sitting here like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't 86. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that early. So I was like, that's why I aired that way. Okay.
Well
Good
done.
job.
Well done. Okay, Bryan, Wheel of Fortune. Who is the long-running host of Wheel of Fortune?
So fun little trivia tidbit. Good Morning Vietnam. Adrian Cronauer did the Good Morning Vietnam.
Yep.
After he left Vietnam, the other Air Force radio DJs had just kept doing his thing. Pat Sajak was one of those DJs that did the Good Morning Vietnam after Adrian Cronauer left. Pat Sajak is your answer.
It is.
I
And
think I learned that from you, Bryan.
attack? Am I just having another little moment? Oh no, he's still. I was just thinking, did Ryan Seacrest take take over since I wrote this question? But no, that's The Price is Right. He took over, isn't it?
No, it is Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, it is Wheel of Fortune.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Has that happened yet, though? I didn't know if it had happened.
It has, yes.
It has.
Okay.
Okay.
Drew Carey
again,
took over Price is Right.
Drew Carey's
Yeah.
Price is Right. Yeah.
Ah, right. Again, this game has been quite a while in the making.
Yes, ma'am.
History
Absolutely.
is changing
Absolutely.
before our eyes. And I'm just going to ask the editor to go back, and at the beginning of this episode, I'm actually going to pretend I was drinking alcohol. Because I think that will help make what happened since make a lot more sense.
No, you're good.
Yeah, right, it will.
I'll give you an extra
All right.
pop that they can edit in here.
There you go.
Perfect. Thank you.
There we go.
Guapo, Sally Ride. What is Sally Ride's claim to fame, for want of a better expression?
She's the first female astronaut, the first U.S. female astronaut. Yes.
Thank you. First US woman in space. Very good. 2 Soviet women went to space before her
Valentina
in 63
Tereshkova.
and 82.
I fall prey to that all at the time, including on a fairly recent Pub Trivia Experience episode.
Yeah, I think
what was the first woman in space? I'm like, oh, it was in the 80s. Nope. The Soviets were way ahead of us on that one.
Okay, Mike, Heavy Metal Suicide. Ride the Lightning was one of the biggest heavy metal albums of the mid-80s. Which band recorded this album?
One of my all-time favorite bands, one of my all-time favorite albums. This is Metallica.
Very good. Bryan, foreign debts. It's no secret that the US is currently in a lot of debt. Which Asian country holds the largest percentage of this debt? As of 2 days ago, when I double-checked the answer to this. I know the economy's changing rapidly over there at the moment, but
It's China.
I've got Japan. China a close second.
Oh,
Really?
Oh, shit.
that's an interesting
Yeah.
question.
Wow,
And I did
that is a
check.
very
I-
interesting question.
Oh,
I
okay.
double-checked that one just a couple of days ago, given everything that's happening.
No,
Okay.
I'll believe you, but yeah, I knew Japan had to be up there, but I definitely thought China would have been. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
We might let's just, given how events have
No.
been unfolding,
I believe. I
let's
absolutely
double-check
believe
it.
that.
I'm happy to double check.
You checked your math. I believe you.
True, I did. Okay, Guapo. Homeless vets. What government department is charged with caring for the veterans of the US and hopefully doing a better job than they were when this song was written back in the 80s?
They're not, but Department of Veterans Affairs.
That's correct. And that's a shame to hear. Mike, AIDS. The treatments and approaches to AIDS have progressed significantly over the years. Pre-exposure prophylaxis is an antiviral medicine taken by a person who does not have HIV to lower their chance of infection. What is this drug better known as?
Yeah, I will confess that I do not know very much about AIDS drugs. Pre-exposure prophylaxis. I'm gonna guess PEP.
Oh, so close.
Oh, so close. It's PrEP.
PrEP. Okay. That actually makes way more sense.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting close to the end here. Bryan, crack. Cocaine is typically snorted. How is crack cocaine typically used? How does it enter the body?
It's inhaled as smoke.
Correct. Oh, he got onto that very quickly. Didn't even have to think about that one, Bryan. Sorry, I'm not suggesting
what are you trying to
anything with
say?
that comment.
we actually, I don't know if Chris was at this particular softball practice in Florida where we went to a softball practice and somebody found a crack pipe in the dugout of a softball practice that we had.
I was really wondering where this story was going to go.
No, I don't remember if Chris was there, but if he was, he might remember that. Anyway.
Which reminds me of a story when I was 6. So this was in the 80s. We were at a soccer game. My dad was playing soccer, and not a big, like just community soccer. And my friend and I were playing in a pile of dirt, and I pricked my finger with a syringe.
Oh, Jesus.
And my friend went over to her mum and dad and said, "Oh, Natalie pricked her finger with a needle," and no one was sort of worried about it, thinking it was a sewing needle. And then I think I brought it over, or someone brought it over, and then everybody freaked out. It was actually a syringe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't. All I knew was I had to get a really painful needle after that. But I didn't know till I was much older that mum and dad had sort of the 3 months of waiting to see whether anything had come from it and all those sort of things. So who would have thought that crack cocaine would give rise to such cheerful stories from us all?
I know.
Things you find in dirt piles at sports games.
But between AIDS and crack, it's been such a wonderful discussion. Let's head to Bernie Getz.
Yes, please.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. Yes, so... Guapo, what is Bernie Getz famous for? And you just give me a rough idea. I've got like 4 lines written here.
He was a subway vigilante, so he shot a bunch of teenagers that were kind of menacing him on the subway.
That is correct. I did not know how to write a question about that, so that is what I landed on. Mike, hypodermics on the shore. Over 70 syringes and blood vials washed up on which New York beach in July 1988? I wonder if they fell off the ferry.
This is one of those situations where my strange lack of knowledge of New York is going to come into play. Because I have this weird blind spot when it comes to New York. Like I don't remember the boroughs. I don't remember stuff. Washed up on New York Beach. And I'm gonna know it as soon as you say it. It's one of those things that's like when I draw to that region of my brain, it's blank. I'm gonna know it when you say it. I'll say Coney Island, but right now I'm tapping out. I'll say Coney Island. It's not right.
Okay. No, I tried to help you out with the clue about them falling off the ferry. It's Staten Island.
Staten Island. Okay. It's just that's the name of the beach. Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. 1 question left each. Bryan, China's under martial law. A series of student-led protests across China resulted in Beijing being placed under martial law. In which Beijing location did the bulk of these protests occur?
Tiananmen Square.
That is correct.
The June 4th incident.
Guapo, rock and roller cola wars. Pepsi and Coca-Cola fought mightily through the 80s to conquer the cola market. Most of us remember that Pepsi hired Michael Jackson as part of their campaign, the infamous hair catching on fire incident. Which singer, dancer, and choreographer was hired by Coca-Cola for the same purpose?
I believe this was Paula Abdul.
It was Paula Abdul.
Nicely done.
And Mike, this is the question that I had to create because there were only 119.
No, I'm actually really excited. I'm really excited because I have no idea what's coming right now.
So we heard all about the Grammys that Billy Joel did or didn't win for We Didn't Start the Fire. What rank did We Didn't Start the Fire reach on the Billboard Hot 100 chart?
I'm going to say it made it to number 1.
Number 1 is a correct answer. It did make it to number 1. Well done. Okay, I'm just going to do some quick maths. Okay, beautiful. So at the end of our main round, we have a very tight game. Bryan picked up 13 points. Mike picked up 14 points. And Guapo picked up 17 points.
Nicely
so
done.
if we add
Nicely done.
those to the pre-games, just give me a minute. We have our interim scores: Bryan at 17, Mike at 19, and Guapo in the lead at 20. All right, so let's get into our wager round for game 2. Now, the song We Didn't Start the Fire mentions the word fire 41 times. So our wager round is going to be all about fire, and the categories are movies, sports, and history. So just like we did last time, wager whole numbers only. Lock in your wagers now based on those 3 categories: movies, sports, and history. And just wagering the number of points, or up to the number of points that you have available to you from this second game. Let me know when your wagers are locked in and I will give you the questions.
Locked in.
I'll lock in.
Locked in.
Okay, so our first question is in the category of movies. In an unusual billing order given their star power, which Ron Howard film featured Robert De Niro and Donald Sutherland as the 3rd and 4th billed actors, respectively?
Locked in.
All right, locked in.
Remember when at the start of this I said I was going to screw it up?
I am predicting Bryan hasn't bet 0 on this category.
I did not
Right.
bet 0 on movies.
I knew that based on the categories. So
Apologies for making you wait here. I will lock in with I will lock in with the wrong answer.
Okay, so moving on to question number 2 in sports. The Atlanta Flames relocated to Calgary in 1980, where they've been part of the NHL ever since. However, the Flames weren't Calgary's first NHL team. The city was previously represented by 2 now defunct teams, one from 1921 to 1927 and another from 1975 to 1977. Name either of these teams.
Locked in.
Locked in.
sure, why not? I'll lock in.
Okay, and our third question in the category of history. 2 cities, centuries apart, are credited with major firsts in firefighting history. One in ancient times for creating the first organised fire brigade under Emperor Augustus, and the other in 1824 for establishing the world's first modern municipal fire service under James Braidwood. Name both cities.
All right, I'll lock in.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Okay, so back to the beginning. Movies. Bryan, you're up first.
Oh, we should
The
definitely go in
question-
reverse order on this one.
Should we do that?
No, you're fine.
It's not
Okay.
going to matter.
Okay. So remembering, I'm not sure whether this was at top of mind or not, but remembering that this wager round had an overarching theme of fire in movies in an unusual billing order given their star power, which Ron Howard film featured Robert De Niro and Donald Sutherland as the 3rd and 4th billed actors respectively. Bryan, what was your wager and your answer?
Oh, son of a crap. I think I might have just clicked. Well, I forgot that fire was the overall category.
I was
But-
worried that might have happened and I was toying
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
raising it, and then I thought that wasn't fair and I didn't know what to do.
Yep. So, well, we'll see what happens here, because the movie that I could think of that had De Niro in it, but I thought he was in the top 2, not 3rd or 4th. I put Heat.
And what did you wager?
I wagered my full 17. Big surprise.
Okay. Okay. And Mike, what was your wager and your answer?
Well, in hindsight, I thought about going all 19 on this one. In hindsight, I should have done that. because this is absolute. The top 2 build actors, I believe, were Kurt Russell and Billy Baldwin. This is absolutely backdraft. And I wagered 10.
And what did you wager?
I did wager 10.
Okay. And Guapo?
Yeah, I also guessed backdraft, but I wagered 0.
Okay. So, yes, backdraft is the correct answer. And Bryan, you were probably right. We probably should have gone in reverse order.
All good.
But there's still a lot that can happen because we're adding in last week's
Exactly.
I know.
final scores. So who knows what's going to happen from here? But the answer was backdraft. So our new totals are Bryan on 0, Mike on 29 after picking up his 10 points, and Guapo steady on 20 after wagering 0. Okay, question number 2 in sports. The Atlanta Flames relocated to Calgary in 1980. But Calgary previously was represented by 2 other now defunct teams, one in the 20s and one in the 70s. Name either of these teams. Mike, what was your wager and your answer?
Well, I said, unfortunately, I did not go all in on movies because I decided I know a decent amount about sports, so I'll put 5 on this one. You know what I don't know a decent amount of sports on is hockey. You know what I know even less about is Canadian anything. I was like, I don't know, the Calgary Caribou. That is what I walked in with. I could not have told you anything.
Okay. And Guapo, your wager and your answer.
This was a total guess, but I know that there was a famous thing called the Calgary Stampede, so I went with the Stampede. And I also wagered 0 on this one.
Okay. And Bryan, your wager. What we know your wager was 0.
Yeah,
what was your
my
answer?
wager was 0. I know there are at least two teams in Canada that call themselves the Rough Riders. They may not be hockey, but I threw Rough Riders knowing that I was putting a 0 on it.
So no correct answers there. It was the Calgary Tigers from the 1921 to 1927 and the Calgary Cowboys from 1975 to 1977. I play tested this with my husband and he also went with Calgary Stampede. He's like, maybe they would have gone with Stampede. So that was a popular wrong answer. Yep. So our new totals, Bryan's still steady on 0. Guapo's still steady on 20 after another 0 wager, and Mike came back down, losing 5 there to 24. Okay, now third question, history, all about the 2 cities with the major firsts in firefighting, one in ancient times creating the first organised fire brigade under Emperor Augustus, and the other in 1824 establishing the world's first modern municipal fire service under James Braidwood. Name both cities. Guapo, your answer and your wager.
All right. So the first one, I knew it had to be Rome. And the second one was a guess. So I'm guessing on the second one, it's Chicago. And I wagered all 20 of my points.
And Bryan, your wager and your answer. Oh, your wager was 0?
My wager was 0.
I'm catching up.
Yep, it's all right. And I also said Rome. But for the other city, I actually went London.
Okay. And Mike, your wager and your answer.
I wagered my last 4 on this one, and very similarly to Bryan, Rome, I locked in right away, and then I just kind of guessed something about London seemed right, so I also said London.
Okay. So I think the main round played a bit easier than game 1. But the wager round has played a bit harder than game 1 because the answers were Rome. That was a gimme, I thought, Emperor Augustus, which is why I made you give me both cities.
Oh, yeah.
The second one was actually Edinburgh. So London was close, but not close.
You could have given me 100 guesses. I wouldn't have come up with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in a little bit of a bloodbath, our final scores for game 2 are Bryan on 0, Guapo on 0, and Mike hung in there on 20. So if we're going to add those scores to our points from game 1, we've got Guapo with a 0 plus a 0, which is nice, easy math, which I appreciate. So that's a 0. Bryan, we've got 36 plus a 0, which ended on 36. And Mike brings it home 31 plus 20 with a final score of 51. Well done, Mike.
Congrats.
Thank you. That was a wonderful game, gents. Like, it's again all over the place, and some but those wager rounds were very brutal.
Yes.
I think we could all safely say for sure. And
the wagers are the killers because the subtotals in both games were very close.
Absolutely,
so the wagers definitely made all the difference.
Yeah. Yep. Well, again, Christian, he had the best score on the second half in the hot seat round. So but yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. I do think that long-term listeners of the Pub Trivia Experience will appreciate me actually winning on a wager round, because there was a long period of time where it was a running joke that I would lose on wager rounds constantly. So, Natalie, this was a absolutely wonderfully written game. I thought all the questions were great. They were varied. I loved the way that you took the theme and ran with it. Just a fantastic game. Thank you so much. I had a blast. Did everybody else had fun? You guys had a good time?
Yes, this was a good 6 months spent you writing this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I did have the intention when I had the idea. I was like, if I do that, that'll be good. Then I can finally learn all the lyrics.
Right.
That'd be a great way to learn it, and that did not work. I think I know the first 2 sections now, like just the first 10, and that's it. So yes, if anyone's thinking about learning it, that is not the way to do it.
I had the pleasure of seeing Billy Joel in concert. About probably 8 years ago now with my wife, and in Tampa. And he sang the song, and then afterward he starts riffing about, this is such a hard song to sing live because there's always your eyes end up drifting along the audience, and there's always that one guy in the audience who doesn't know the words but thinks he knows the words and is just mouthing along, and you've got to sit here trying to remember what the actual words are. His performance was phenomenal. It was a great show. I was so thankful that I got to see that performance live, because it was so much fun.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
All right. Well, thank you again. Thank you so much, Natalie, for writing this game. It was a wonderful time. It was had by all. But I think we've been at this for a while. I know it's getting late here for us. We're going to go ahead and sign off here, folks. If you're listening, if you like what we're doing here, want to support the show, a couple things. Patreon.com/PTEBB is your source for anything. If you want to support the show financially, there are several different tiers of support. Everybody on this particular recording is a Patreon supporter. You get bonus content from all of our shows, not just the Pub Trivia Experience, but also Boozy, Bracketology, Verboten, Friend Me Trivia, Draft Days, Skillet Brew Trivia. They're all out there, all recording great stuff. Definitely check that out. If you're not capable of financially supporting us right now, hey, times are crazy right now. We totally understand that. But if you have a minute to leave us a 5-star rating or write us a review, that would be awesome. Otherwise, just catch up with us on the socials. You can find all that information in the show notes. We're active out there, particularly on our Discord. We like to think we're fun people. We have a great time over there. Really, really, honestly, genuinely, just a really positive community over there. Lots of great people over there. Definitely check that out as well. I do want to say, I feel like I've said it multiple times, but I just want to say it one more time. Thank you so much, Natalie, for writing this game. It was an absolute blast. Really enjoyed it.
That was my pleasure. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to run it. It was really fun.
Absolutely. Yep. But we're going to sign off right now for the Pub Trivia Experience. I have been Mike.
I've been Natalie.
I've been Chris.
I've been Santayana. Goodbye. Wait.
Rock and roll the Cola Wars. I can't take it anymore. Good night.